Andrew Langer from the Institute for Liberty has come all the way from D.C. to come be a guest here this evening, and I appreciate your coming. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. I always hate following Mike McDermott on programs. I'll tell you, that is the danger of going late in a program, is that occasionally, well, all the time you're following excellent speakers like Mike McDermott. Anyway, I want to thank you all. It is an absolute pleasure to have come down here. I actually, I run an organization in D.C. called the Institute for Liberty, but I live on the Upper Shore. I live in that People's Republic of Maryland that Mayor McDermott was talking about, and you might be asking yourself, what is a guy in shorts from the Upper Shore of Maryland doing down here on the Eastern Shore of Virginia?
Being lucky.
That's right, very lucky. And not for just the reasons of coming to these warm climes. But your fight is our fight. Our fight is your fight. And the only way we are going to win this battle is if we fight together. And I want to let you know that there are people fighting this fight even in the People's Republic of Maryland, where we're outnumbered 2-1, and the forces are allied against us. One of the other dangers of being late on a program is that all the great things have been said. And normally I start off, especially in July, quoting from the Declaration of Independence. But what's good is that it sort of sets up a theme. And so I'm just going to briefly quote that we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. And I'll use the word inalienable because I went to William and Mary, and that's how we were taught, good Virginia school that it is. And then among these, and this is the operative phrase, among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, we talk a great deal about the 10th Amendment. Ultra important because it gets forgotten. But even more forgotten than the 10th Amendment is the 9th Amendment to the Constitution. Now, who of you knows what the 9th says? Well, I'm going to read it to you on the other side. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. And why is that relevant today? Why is that relevant today, specifically July 22nd? This morning in the Senate, there was a vote taken on an amendment to an appropriations bill on Homeland Security, in which John Thune said, Senator John Thune asked that the Senate pass a bill which says that if I get a concealed carry permit in Virginia, that concealed carry permit get recognized in Maryland, or God forbid, even California. And we lost that vote. The other side voted against that bill. And to me, it is an astounding level of hypocrisy that they are demanding that states recognize marriages, gay marriages from another state, because that is somehow denying homosexuals equal protection under the law. But a fundamental right guaranteed in the Constitution, my right to keep and bear arms, my right to carry a weapon for my own self-defense, that'll get denied. That if I were somehow fortunate enough to reside in the Old Dominion and get my concealed carry permit and then go to Virginia or go to Maryland to live, that I would somehow no longer have that God-given right. That is an astounding level of hypocrisy. Now, my organization, the Institute for Liberty, was founded to fight what we call the petty tyrannies of government. The little things that add up to big things. How many of you are small business owners? So many of you in the crowd. We have $1 trillion regulatory state. That means that regulations cost the American economy $1 trillion annually. That's essentially, or at least it was last year, about 1/3 of our federal budget. Of course, it's now down to 1/4, but who's counting? That isn't any one particular regulation, any big thing, though now, of course, with cap and trade and the regulation of CO2, it will be a big thing. But that $1 trillion is made up of all of those little individual mandates. We call that death by 1,000 pinpricks. And so we had been fighting on those petty tyrannies. When we were talking about bailing out this economy, the Institute for Liberty said, you want to bail out the economy, you want to jumpstart, you want to put gas in that engine, Mayor McDermott. You want to put gas in that engine. I called on him because he wasn't paying attention. You want to put gas in that engine, free up the spirit of entrepreneurship in America. Let entrepreneurs, let small business owners actually put people to work and not send money to Washington and fritter it away on mandates that nobody understands and can't comply with. But then something changed. Something radically changed, didn't it, in January? It's no longer about the petty tyrannies of government. It is now a wholesale abrogation of individual rights. It's no longer just the EPA saying that if you own a bakery, you're now going to be treated like a power plant in terms of your CO2 emissions, and that's what they want to do. It's now saying that if you don't want to have health insurance in America, if you're young and you're healthy and for whatever reason you choose not to have health insurance, you're going to get penalized. My own senator, Ben Cardin, I didn't vote for him, but he is my senator. He was asked this by a young man on Monday. Senator Cardin said essentially, how dare you not have insurance? He didn't deny that they were going to either force this young man into getting insurance or penalize him to the tune of $200 a month. $200 that he might just not have. He didn't answer that. He said, how dare you? Well, Senator Cardin, President Obama, I have a fundamental right to make choices about how to spend my money, and I'm not going to sit idly by and let you dictate to me how I'm going to spend it. You want to know why I'm angry about this? I'll tell you. Funny little story. I'm on Facebook. Come join me on Facebook if you're on Facebook. I went to, now, Delegate Pogge, I think it was talking about ethical humanism. I went to an ethical humanist high school up in New York. Please don't hold that against me. I came to Virginia right afterwards. I got smart, came down here. But I still keep in touch with people I went to high school with. And someone wrote today to me, or yesterday, they said, passage of health care, nationalized health care, urging for passage of health care is a patriotic act. And I wrote to this person, I said, what do you mean? Not, is the advocacy patriotic? I meant literally, what do you mean by health care reform? Because, ladies and gentlemen, what they're talking about isn't reforming health care. It's about insurance, and the two are not the same. And the reason why I'm angry is this person wrote back to me and said, that's an insulting thing to say. And my response is no. What is insulting is the president going before the American public, before the republic itself, and confusing the two issues, and saying, if you come with me, we're going to give you this health care. He can't do that, because there's not enough to go around. Now, I'm going to sum up, because Melody's right here. It's been a very, very long day. And I want you to have one takeaway, because the most important takeaway, the battle we're fighting, is on health care right now, and cap and trade. So that's two battles we're fighting right now. The bottom line is, do not think for a second that rallies like this do not matter. Do not think for a second that we cannot win, because we can. And you know how I know this? It was rallies like this that got us back 40 votes on cap and trade that we shouldn't have had. We should not have come that close. And the president is scared on health care. I'm not going to call it a Waterloo. I'm not going to make it personal with the president. I will say this much. They are scared because we can put a stop to this. This is not reform. This is stagnation. You need to go. You need to contact your members of Congress. You got to contact your senators. You got to contact your candidates who are out there. You need to make them pledge that they will read those bills. We have a pledge on the Institute for Liberty website. It's called The Pledge to Read. Please visit us, www.instituteforliberty.org. Thank you all very much. It's been a pleasure. I'm Andrew Langer.